you can kind of see some Gears ish play in it.
Ah,
Um, but what I'll say is, you know, it looks good. It looks clean. I would say don't. I want to. It's not on the same level as like a Gears of War or God of War, but you know, it's a decent looking game. I'll
uh-huh.
say decent on the PS5.
Talking
And
about
I
the
watched,
Outriders, yeah.
yeah, and I watched, you know, a friend of mine played on the PS4 Pro, and it looks clean. Obviously if you have a PS5 or a Series X, that's where you're gonna want to play it, or a PC. It's totally cross play. So if you're on PC, Xbox, I know that cross play is enabled and it's supposed to be in beta on the console, but it works.
Ah,
Um,
cool.
I got up to a part where, and no spoilers intended. I got up to the part where you get your power, you get to pick your one of your four powers, and so you know I picked the power and I stopped right there because it's like the beginnings is basically a story and a tutorial, and I'm following it. I'm following the story, and then something happens in the game, and I'm like, whoa, what just happened?
Oh, I gotta
You
try it
know,
out. I gotta try it,
and
test it out,
so
yeah.
the story is interesting so far. Um, from what I've played, as far as the shooter mechanics, I like it. It's not everything's not a bullet sponge. Like you're taking people down, kind of like pretty quick,
Uh-huh.
but you know they can hurt you too. And I was like, this is different.
Ah,
You know, you can
gotcha.
pick up weapons in the environment just like a Destiny type ish game. So I'm hoping it kind of stays like this as far as like the damage. Obviously, there's more creatures you fight. I fought a creature and it took some time to put them down, but it wasn't like Division where it's total bullet sponge. You're killing a human person and you're taking headshots to them. And no, if you shoot somebody in the head in this game, they go down pretty quick.
All right, I gotta try it
They
out
go
because
down.
I saw some gameplay of it and it looked a little stiff.
It's
So
it's okay. How I this is what I think about
I
it.
still don't
I
know what
can
the game's about.
tell.
I think it's a looter shooter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a looter shooter.
What's
Yeah, I would
up,
say looter
grinders? How
shooter.
you doing? We're just talking
I
about
definitely would
the
say
the
Outriders.
Outriders.
I wouldn't say like from my first impression, it's not horrible.
Uh huh.
Um, uh, if I had, obviously people are gonna compare this to Destiny
Ugh.
and Division.
Ugh.
So far,
Ugh.
what I'm playing as
Ugh.
far as Division,
The double
I like it
D's.
better than Division. Yeah, and I like it because Division to me, I think Division 1 is a good start, but like with the looter shooters, my favorite looter shooter as of right now is still kind of like Destiny, but I think Destiny still has problems.
Yeah.
But this is different because it's not Division. It's definitely sci-fi. So that's why I think I can get into this one more because it's sci-fi. You're leaving your planet, going to find another planet because something happened back on Earth, blah blah blah, and interesting. That's all I can say is interesting. Once I
Okay.
get farther and see what some of the side missions are, it will kind of because like right
That's
now I
interesting.
think it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Well, I will
But
check it out.
I think it's something you should check out. Um, in the beginning when they're telling a story, like graphically, like I said, on our current gen consoles right now, it looks pretty good. On last generation PS4 Pro, it looks okay. I don't know what the day one PS4 looks like, but I guess from what I'm seeing, it runs clean enough.
All
I
right.
haven't found anything that I'm like, oh my god, this is horrible. Because usually I'll get a game, I'm like, I download and I start playing, I'm like, nope, not into it.
Especially
This
those
game I
beta
immediately got
things.
into it, but once again, take it with a grain of salt from me because I like sci-fi. I love sci-fi, so
Yo, J Cat. What's up, AT?
I think I'm getting to this
Yeah,
game.
social
Shoot,
says
I
the
mean, I'm
game's too stiff. But we
the
got
game is.
5 minutes, bro. We got 5 minutes here. I want to just talk about what we're gonna do to state of
Hey, let's
play.
do some
Shout out to
predictions.
all the grinders out there. State of play live reaction. Thank you again for over 700 subs, and thank you for everybody for joining in. We're gonna do this live reaction here. Hit that like button. Share out this video. Hope everybody's doing well. Dominic, yes, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. So we got 5 minutes left on this countdown. Hopefully the stream survives. They are just
Want to
to
do some
want
quick
to, yeah, we'll
predictions?
do some predictions. But I just want to say this stream has been locked. Not 130,000 are watching right now. Almost 131. This thing is up
Nice.
at 22K. This, I tell you, man, people are hyped for this thing. I hope it delivers. First off, Frog, what do you think? What they're gonna show in this? I think they said about 45 minutes. 45 minutes. I think they said they're gonna do. If there, Frog? Or did I lose you? Hello?
No, you go first.
Oh, you want me? All right, I think it's gonna be a deep dive. I think they said it was gonna be deep dives. I think it's gonna be a deep dive into more gameplay of Returnal and into Ratchet and Clank. I think those are gonna be the two headliners, and then maybe they'll show some information on some of the other little games that they showed last year, such as Stray and Kenna. I think those are kind of games. I'm not expecting big Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay, not God of War gameplay. Or anything along those lines. That might be a surprise if they do Horizon, but I don't think. I hope they don't crash the stream here. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna be more of just kind of like from now until June, with Ratchet and Clank being the headliner of this. Kind of like that's their state of play right now. No services, no studios, nothing like that. Maybe a little game here or there, but more of just kind of lining up the lineup from now until June, which is June 11th, which is Ratchet and Clank. And so I think that's going to be the headliner. It's going to be a deep dive into that and in Returnal, and then the rest of them will just be kind of sprinkled in. But that's about it. I think it's going to be kind of a half-year review and kind of get some solid dates.
I was going to say, I guess if I had predictions, I would kind of go a little bit with what you want to Returnal, Ratchet and Clank. I do think that because it's 40 minutes, I think that we will see some games. They will talk about some games and plans of games like they're going to update. Maybe like they did with Ghost of Tsushima. Hey, Last of Us patch coming.
Oh, yeah.
This patch coming. That.
Yeah.
I think we will see things like that. And I think we may get a surprise for gameplay that we haven't seen of something that they've been working on or something that may be in the works. It may not be something crazy like just a trailer for something. I do think we'll get some snippet of something we don't know about that we didn't see coming. I do predict maybe something from one of their first-party studios will be shown. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn actual gameplay, or maybe they'll even have a conversation about some more games coming to PC. That could be something they could.
I don't think that. I think they did enough. Drama in that aspect.
Enough damage control for their own selves. What's up, Link?
We got enough. Hey, Link, what's up, man? We got 1 minute left. What do you think they're going to show today, besides PC gaming?
I think they're going to show some Returnal gameplay, Ratchet and Clank. Show the stuff that's coming soon. Maybe some Kenna Bridge of Spirits stuff. I'm not looking for any huge surprises here, but you never know.
You never know.
I'd love to see some God of War gameplay, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high for that.
That's it. Guys in the chat, grinders and girls. Girls and grinders, whatever we're going to do with the grind. Everybody in the chat, what do you think they're going to show? Put it in the chat. And holy crap, I think a freaking huge-ass bird just flew by my window. Holy crap, it looked like one of those vulture things. Holy. It was like a friggin' Batman. It was the Mothman. Phil Harrison. We're not talking about him right now. Jesus.
You live close to the city, so Batman is somewhere.
Dude, it was like a bat signal. It came outside my friggin' window. Yo, we got 30 seconds left. It was the Mothman. That's not good news. I don't want to see the Mothman before any kind of news announcements. I don't see no Mothmans. All right, here we go. All right, we got this. I'm gonna put on the volume here. Nice. You guys, tell me how the audio is with our overlay, our voices with the state of play here. And I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of licensed crap that I'll probably get smacked up the head for. But who cares? Providing this content to the fans. And here we go. Oh. Starting out. And nobody said GTA anything. Kind of throw that in there.
There's some very unexpected developments in your future. Shocking events that will change the course of your life!
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions coming to the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time experience on PlayStation 5. Hey everyone, I'm Lou Studdard, creative producer at Toys for Bob. I'm here to give you the feature rundown on Crash Bandicoot 4 on PS5. That includes 4K at 60 frames per second, adaptive triggers, 3D audio, and more.
Let's make this fun.
Picking up where Crash Bandicoot Warp left off, in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, we find the evil masterminds Neo Cortex and Dr. Entropy, escaping a once thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant holes in the universe.
Somebody wrote why.
Adventure for Crash and his marsupial pals. We designed
Is audio
Crash
good,
Bandicoot
everybody?
to leap
Just
off your
asking.
screen, brimming with bold, vibrant environments and characters. Crash Bandicoot has always looked pretty suave.
At least this update is free, I think.
4K at 60 frames per second. With the weight of the universe
Are you
on
guys
your
just
shoulders,
stunned with this
not like
entertainment
the
right
Monster
here?
Run. There's little time to wait on loading screens.
I don't know if I lost Frogs and Link. I
Wireless
think they
controllers
just
bring adaptive
they're
triggers to your
stunned.
fingertips, so you can feel the blast of Neocortex's DNA changing.
Oh, you're getting a stutter?
Or
Hold
feel
on.
the grip when you grapple a ton of hookshot.
You know what? I'm gonna
Hold on
lower
tight
that.
when you feel the boost of Crash's jetboard.
Ah, I don't wanna
and
do that.
Really feel the suck when you vacuum his dingo dog. Looking to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot universe? Crank it up to 11.
Try to
and
remove
take
the
your
stutter
audio to
here.
an all-new dimension with enhanced 3D audio. Achieving the infamous 106% completion is the sign of a true Bandicoot master. But should our genetically mutated marsupial lose his way, leverage PlayStation 5 activity cards to track your
Ooh,
progress.
okay. They're taking the activity cards.
And
Oh.
hit your goals for things like time trials, flashback levels, and boss fights. I bet Entropy wishes he had that. Even bring your incomplete
See,
save
that's
over
the one
from
thing I have to
PlayStation
say. Like,
4,
they
and
are.
use the activity cards
Yeah.
to get to 106%.
I'm just gonna drop this to the.
Oh, and one more thing. If you own the PS4 version of the game, an upgrade option is available. Check out the PlayStation blog for full details. Whether it's your first playthrough,
Upgrade
or
options
your
available. Better not be
there's
no costly
better time
upgrade
to
option.
experience Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about
State
time
of
on
update.
PlayStation 5.
Mud. You guys are stunned? Frog, you there? Link? March 12th.
Welcome back, Crash.
Yeah, still.
All right, you
All
got
here
it.
on today's new edition.
Oh, you took a
of
snooze
State of
already?
Play. We've got some great updates lined up for you.
No, I just muted
Updates.
myself.
First, let's check out the latest on a
There it
eagerly
is.
anticipated game
Returnal.
coming to the PS5 console this spring.
Knew they were
from
gonna talk about this
PlayStation
one.
Studios.
They gotta say why this is $70.
Hey everyone, we at Housemark are excited to give you this
Yeah, we haven't
sneak
seen
peek
much
at
gameplay.
Returnal. In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers and unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play. Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies is key to survival in Returnal. With the large variety of enemies and the vast number of unique movesets each possess, combat situations prove challenging no matter what the circumstances are. Death is only the beginning. Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The map will be different, enemies will appear in new locations and in differing numbers, so you have to think fast and adapt. Here you can see the use of the lightning alt-fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt-fires that you can acquire in the game. You will stumble across mysterious devices that can grant rewards to the player. These will vary from weapons, consumables, and upgrades, and they can completely change your playstyle and make each cycle feel unique. Besides the intense combat, Returnal also has a deep and engaging narrative. We allow players to piece together the puzzle that is the story of Celine, as they venture deeper and deeper into Atropos and into her personal nightmare.
That can't be here.
I think I am reliving my memories in that house, but not fully. They're corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the
house on the planet.
No safe space. Exactly as I left it.
Still interesting. I gotta drop this to the. It
Wait,
keeps stuttering.
wasn't this the game they showed on the Switch? Oh, come on now.
Oh, you're ahead, Frog. Hold on, I gotta hit the live. I think.
Returnal
Oh my god.
Studios.
I'm
No.
sorry.
We're an indie
Oh,
developer
this
based in
thing.
upstate
Sorry, I had
New
to
York,
fix
and
the
we
live
recently
thing.
announced Knockout City, a team-based multiplayer action game for PS4 where rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball battles. Knockout City is easy to pick up and play, but there's a lot of depth here for those who've got the skills.
Returnal, I was like,
In
eh.
a 1v1 face-off mode, you'll go head-to-head.
I'm
in a
still,
constantly
like,
shrinking battleground, relying on your reflexes and abilities.
I
to
still
knock out
gotta
an
see
opponent.
how they're going to do this randomness. Like, randomness sounds good, but I don't know if it's gonna look like. Oh, this thing. Yeah.
They could
Fake a throw to mess up your opponent's timing and knock them out before
This
they
was
can
on
react.
the Nintendo
When you're in a
Direct.
tough spot with the ball flying your way, a last-second dodge is the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the
Yeah,
fight.
they were
Keep
multiplayer.
your wits about you
Yes,
and
they were
outplay your opponent to
multiplayer,
bring home a win.
Oh my god, this game, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not interested.
It's like
This game better be free.
it's like 3D
Jump into
dodgeball,
Team
some
KO,
crap like
our
that.
3v3 mode. Teamwork makes the dream work in Knockout
I mean,
City.
it don't really
If
look.
your crew is out
Knockout
a
City.
well-coordinated team can still
Eh.
dominate.
Whatever.
Like the game
We're
from
playing
EA called
Is this free to play?
a
What
new
are that
map
game's
that you'll
called?
find in our upcoming crossplay beta. The special ball for this match is
It
the
better
Special
be.
Ball, which
It
will allow
better
you to
be.
target from far across the
Better
map
be.
and
Yeah,
hit
Rocket
your
Football.
opponent
That's the only way I
before they
play
have a
it.
chance to react.
This is made by somebody though. This is made by some.
Bleeding Edge?
No, they're not made by Bleeding Edge. No, this is made by somebody else. This
No,
is.
no, no. What I'm saying, it looks similar. Like,
You can literally
Oh yeah, what the 3
for
maps?
your teammate.
Oh no.
Yeah, what's that game called that EA has with the rocket?
Or risk it.
Oh, Rocket Arena.
Teammate, launch them high
Rocket
into the air with an
Arena,
ultimate
yeah, it looks
throw,
similar
and they'll
to
land
that.
in a huge instant KO explosion.
It looks very similar to that.
The team here at Velen has
Yeah,
been
this better
obsessed
be
with
free.
creating this
don't get me
game for the
wrong,
last
Rocket
4
Arena
years.
is fun, but,
Knockout City is coming out May 21st, and we'd love your help in
This
our
better
final
be
stretch of
free to play.
development. Rally your
This is
crew
not
inside
something
the
May
I-
21st.
crossplay beta
Yeah,
at
but-
knockoutcity.com to play early on PlayStation. See you soon, brawlers.
Yo, what's up, Salty?
hey, it's
Yo,
got
Raven
crossplay.
Flow. Knockout.
Crossplay against Switch players, great.
Oh, EA Originals. Yeah, you know, you
Yeah.
trash. You trash,
Oh
EA.
my god, no.
No.
Time
No.
for something new. Here's your first look
Nah,
at
Oh.
the upcoming PS5 game from the team at Slow Clap.
Slow clap. Slow clap. Ooh. You're the best around. Yo, this looks. Whoa. Is that the game? Or is this some video? I don't know anymore. This must be the game.
If this is gameplay, it's pretty good.
Yo, this is gameplay. This is the kind of Cobra Kai stuff I want to play. Oh, lower my mic. Sorry, J-Cat.
Huh? Alright.
Yeah, this looks good. I like this.
Were you getting like older?
Yeah, it looks like he's getting older. This is interesting.
Oh yeah, I would play this.
Looks like he's becoming like a
Sifu.
grandmaster or something.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was
So
pretty
was
cool.
something we
Debut
didn't
of
know.
That
Sifu,
deserves a
coming
slow
to
clap.
the PS5 console later this year.
Sifu, okay.
See,
Now
there
let's
we
get an
go.
update on Solar
It
Ash,
said it was.
an
I
epic
don't think
new
it's exclusive
PS5
because it was
adventure
captioned
from
on
Art
PC.
Machine.
It said. So I don't know.
Oh, I don't know,
Here
but
we
that
go
looked pretty damn
again.
cool.
More games.
Yeah, it does look
More
really
games
good.
they're showing they were on the Switch. Oh god. Wait, I think I played.
I've seen this one already.
Yeah, this is like the skating one. It's a side scroll.
Oh,
It looks
yeah,
pretty
that's right.
cool, but it's like a side scroll.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Preston,
Oh.
creative director of Heart Machine. You might know us as the team
No, I don't
behind
think it's a
Hyperlight
side
Drifter.
scroller.
Today, I'm here to show
No,
you the
what
first
is
peek of
this?
gameplay for our
I
new
thought it was a
title,
game that was on
Solar
the
Ash.
Switch.
Oh,
this is
so
something different.
the same developer
But
for
it's-
Hyperlight Drifter.
Solar Ash
Okay.
is a
Game that-
huge,
Yes.
stylish
Right,
3D
I was just-
platform
Oh, there it is.
that
The 3D
blends speed,
platformer, yeah.
movement, and fluidity. The game is set inside a
These are
the
the
Looks
same
kinda like,
people
um,
that
known as the Ultra Void,
which has been consuming everything in its path.
Ultra.
What's that game you just
plays
finished on the
Ray,
PlayStation
daring
5?
warrior
Pathless. They
who's
made
decided
that.
to
Yeah,
venture
Pathless.
into
Yeah,
terrifying
yeah.
anomaly
Yes,
Is it
as
the
a
same
last-ditch
people?
effort
Yeah.
to save her home.
Looks like it. Anna Parin.
Ray is extremely agile,
Yeah.
able to speed across the
Oh
world
yeah,
with
still got
abilities
got
akin
that
to
feel to
skating.
it. I
He's
On
can
the
got that
action
same
clouds,
kind of.
she can quickly cover great distances in our huge world.
The Ashen Clouds.
At its core, Solar Ash is a game about movement, and Ray has everything she needs to flow through the dangerous and unique world.
So all their games are about movement.
Yeah. Oh, the Pathless was awesome like that. This
Yeah,
looks like,
I gotta finish the Pathless.
Yeah, not a
Pathless is
bad
good.
game.
Not short though. Short. I don't
As
know
you
if this
journey
one's
to
gonna be
save your
short.
planet,
We'll see.
you'll find yourself face to face with
This looks like
grotesque
it's taking
and
stuff from the
violent
Pathless
creatures.
though.
Our combat
Yeah.
system is simple,
Except
fast,
for it has a
and
little bit
fluid,
more combat.
built to
than
empower
Pathless.
players.
Yeah,
and
it's got
encourage
combat.
Combat is totally different.
Yeah.
As you explore the Ultra Void, enemy encounters will scale to greater and
Was
greater
she skating?
sizes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jet Set Radio.
Some of these creatures require speed and precise timing to defeat.
Interesting.
Ray will eventually need to face the massive sentinels of this void.
Oh, they're
Wretched,
making that game
starved
straight too with
beasts
the cat.
Hold the key to her quest.
Oh, they're making that game
Oh,
too.
okay.
Oh, look at it. She's fighting on the back of this thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't play it.
Solar Ash is
Shadow
Heart Machine's
Colossus
vision
type
of an
gameplay,
adventure
a little bit.
platformer. The giant spaces, the feel of movement, the flow of combat, and the high-stakes battles atop enormous beasts all come together to bring players something we think is incredibly unique, and more importantly, fun.
Ooh, fun.
This game is a labor of love for everyone on the Heart Machine team. We're excited to bring Solar Ash to PS5 and PS4 later this year.
They
man.
They turn out
like,
games
hey,
pretty
if
quickly.
it's
yeah.
it has those
If you're
elements
a fan of
of
scary games, this next one is for you.
Pathless, so I'm not paying no $50 for that.
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small.
Uh-oh.
Pathetic.
Isn't that Five Nights at Freddy's?
I gotta move my mouth.
You want more? Are you ready?
Oh, this is
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights. Yeah, it was a next gen Freddy. I never played the Five Nights games at all.
I never played them.
Hold on, right back.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Gregory, we can get you out of here. You and me together.
Hey, Jez, I think your mic is a little loud. I
They
hear
won't
some.
stop hunting
I can
you.
hear it in the
None
background.
of them will stop hunting you. We have to get you out by
It's Five
morning.
Nights at Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me, then you
I don't see the appeal here, but
Yeah,
burn!
fast forward. Five Nights at Phil. Fast forward.
show us some Horizon gameplay or something.
I told you, it's gonna be. This is like the fallout after a release of a new console.
There is more going on here than you
It's like they get everything good for launch, and then it's just like the rest is just like. I don't like all this 2021 stuff without any kind of dates. Like, what are you telling me?
No
I'm waiting
dates,
now
yeah.
until like Christmas
That
for this
was
stuff.
a chilling new look at Five Nights at Freddy's security breach.
They're just saying like 2021. I'm like,
Up next, let's take a
we're
tour
already
of
getting into
Oddworld
March.
Soulstorm.
Oh my God, not this game again.
But like they showed this already
Director
last
at
year.
We've
Like,
seen this multiple
Today, I'm going to
times.
take you on a brief tour
if you're
of
not
our
coming out
newest
with a
game,
release date,
Oddworld
dude, then
Soulstorm.
pass.
I've always known you would come.
Like, stop just.
Do you know
I don't
why
know.
you have?
In Soulstorm, you reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution. As you do battle through weird and wonderful environments in an effort to escape
Coon
the
says
old
5 nights of page 8 of Steam
sales.
Steam winter sales.
We really wanted to bring this world to life with what we call 2.9D platforming, which adds much more depth and immersion for the player. This sense of connection is also reinforced.
I mean,
with the
I've
use
never
of
played one of
dual
these
senses
Oddworld
haptic
games, and I
feedback,
don't think I
as
want
you'll
to.
now be able
I never
to
played.
feel
I only played
heartbeat
Stranger's
I
Wrath.
played them.
and suspenseful
Yeah, I played
situations.
all of them. I think Laura Land is a genius, but I
mean,
There
they're
are well
they-
over
they don't
1,000 fellow
sell.
Mudokons that you
And I
must
think
try to
this is
save along the
something
way.
that's
But they are
completely
far
different in
more than
Oddworld.
helpless
Well, I
workers
think
looking to
I
be
think he's a
saved.
really talented
When
guy,
used
but
effectively,
he needs to try
you'll be
something
able to
different
solve
in
puzzles,
Oddworld.
harness their
I mean,
combined
Stranger's
energy,
Wrath was
and be
something
given the
different,
That was
tools
different,
they
yeah.
need to fight
It was
alongside
still
you.
kind of in that.
And there will be
Oddworld-ish
times when the
universe.
extra hands will be needed as
I know,
you face off
Salty.
against an array of heavily armed
This
enemies
doesn't need a
that will
deep
stop
dive.
at nothing to find and
No,
end
no,
a
we'll
once
say.
and
This is a
for
game
all.
that.
But
I
again, if they
think
just
will-
say 2021, like,
In
come
order
on.
to stand a chance,
If you're gonna say,
against
"Hey,
this
this
much
comes out in
larger
2 weeks,"
threat,
all right,
gave
fine.
Abe the ability to
But don't give me no
easily
2021
see
date.
him,
items from his surroundings and
This is a
use
game
them
I could
to
easily
craft
be
an
in
impressive
PS
arsenal of
Plus.
his own that he can share with
Oh,
others.
Frog's throwing the fodder at it.
You can also play as a non-lethal
Yeah.
Frog's
pacifist
giving it the
or an
label.
agent of chaos.
The Game
We
Pass
wanted to
tramp
make
stamp.
sure.
Oh no!
There is
think
one
it's a
iconic
game that-
ability for
the
our
reason I say
shamanic
PS Plus is I don't
protagonist,
think it's gonna
possession.
sell. That's the price. It's
This
not just
mystical
not gonna
power
be a game.
allows you to take
It's just
control
not
of your
gonna sell.
foes and use
That's
their
some Phil
strengths
Spencer
and
vision
weapons
right there,
against
Frog.
them, or use them to
Yeah.
gain access to paths still ahead.
I mean,
Yeah,
gotta
this
put
is
The
okay.
Oddworld universe is a
But,
diverse
yeah.
place, and this
This
means
is a
that there
game
are
that
some
definitely
environments and
PS
situations
Plus
that
would-
require
So this is like a
little more
platform,
thought, patience,
and you have, like,
yeah,
lemmings
because people
with it.
play it on
You'll find
PS Plus,
dark and
but I don't
dangerous
think they're gonna
caves,
buy
heavily
it.
guarded industrial sites,
His games
and
don't
ancient
sell.
forgotten lands.
It's like a
Here
2D,
we've built
a
lots
2D
of opportunities
Pikmin.
for you to test your skills and find different
That's what I
ways to
thought.
handle
Those like
things.
lemmings. I was
Yeah,
confused.
yeah,
as
It
that's
well.
won't be easy. If being
Lemmings,
hunted by an
Bingo,
army
same
backed
thing.
by a shady and wealthy organization isn't bad enough,
Looks pretty
there
cool.
are also more dangers
But
in the
let's go.
forms
Give
of
us a
natural
date, right?
obstacles, ancient
I better not see
traps,
2021.
trials against swarming
Coming
dark
later this
creatures,
year.
and industrial hazards that must be dodged, crossed, and avoided.
That's what I'm not liking
Ultimately,
right now.
Abe's journey is one of hope, freedom,
Let's see
and
some
truth.
Kenner.
There's a rich and engaging narrative
Yeah,
to
let's see
discover in a
something like
world
that.
Oh, that's
full of
freaky.
lies.
He's cutting his mouth
and we've
open.
been
I
able
don't
to
like
bring our characters to life like
I
never
just don't know
before.
how many
In true
journeys
Oddworld
Abe going
fashion,
for hope.
your
for
actions
them.
in
They're like
game
the same
will
character
decide the
every
fate of
game.
Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way.
Yeah.
And we
Like
can't
every
wait to
adventure
see
goes
what
on
Weren't those
some
games?
will
Weren't
do.
they on the Sega Saturn too?
No. This is a PlayStation game. It started on PlayStation.
April 6th.
It never was
Hey,
on
right near my
anything else?
birthday. Okay, good. I'm
Oddworld
glad there's a
started
date.
as a
Thank you.
PlayStation game, and eventually came to,
Now we got some news.
Xbox, when the original Xbox came
April
out.
6th, right near my
But
birthday.
It's always been.
That was the
Oddworld's
latest
always
on
been associated
Oddworld
with
Soulstorm.
Okay.
And here's some exciting news.
Yeah.
Active PlayStation
And
Plus
then when the
members will get
original
the
Xbox
PS5
came out,
version for
then
no
they
extra
tried to
cost,
do-
starting in April. PS5 version for
I
no
told
extra
you.
cost.
Frog
I
called
told you.
it.
Oh, plus.
Frog
Okay.
get the Game Pass treatment. We get it as no extra cost.
Oh, Kenna, here we go.
There it is.
A gorgeous
Frog
new
got the
adventure we
PlayStation
saw in
Plus
June
version.
PS5
The
showcase.
PlayStation.
I might play it on Plus.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll play it on Plus, but I don't want to buy it. It just doesn't look like something.
But
I
it says you
wanna
get
buy.
the
I will buy
PlayStation.
this.
This.
I have this pre-order.
Yeah, I want a
Definitely
release
buy
date for
this.
this. We're gonna get a release date. This is coming out in March. Come on, baby. March, baby. March.
Yeah.
Ooh, March
Give us
is
some
gonna be a
release
crazy
dates. That's
month.
what I'm looking for. I want some release dates. I don't want later this year. You do those announcements in December.
Mm-hmm. Show us some.
Yeah, this game looks
give us-
incredible.
This game.
It does. Looks like a
cool as hell.
Pixar movie.
Yes, it looks incredible.
Holy crap.
Man,
This is
look
on
at
a low
that.
stream too, man.
The rocks
Oh, yeah.
are like fun to live.
This is like a
They're
Pikmin
gonna have a
2.
4K upload later, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I could probably do it. I just will like the audio stuttering if I increase it to 1080p.
Well, I don't think the stream is. They're not streaming it in 4K. I think it's only like 1080p, right?
Yeah, it's only
1080p, right?
Yeah.
I seek passage to the sacred mountain shrine.
The goons is Frog can see through Phil Ryan's eyes. Phil Ryan's BS.
Hey man, I called it. I said that looked like a Plus game.
Yeah, you did say it.
That's it, man.
That was the only way people were gonna play that one.
PS5 Plus.
And
I
Madden.
like that. Whoa, let's see this fight. Let's go. All right, I want to see him fight this.
Here we go. know.
Oh, here we go. Ooh, we got combat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got some combat. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this game.
I'm very, very, yes. I love the art style.
Yes, I love it.
Tangled in the tragedies of our past. You must help these
Oh, wow.
scouts. You'll get to reach the mountains.
It's okay. You have to go now.
Whoa.
I think they have a good story too.
Oh wow.
Oh, this looks
Is
good.
this an indie? Isn't this an independent developer?
Yeah.
Independent, yeah. You know, it reminds me, whenever I see the game, this reminds me of like the guy that already made another game, this is what they make.
Yeah.
This looks
That's why I
amazing.
get that, yeah, I get that Ori feel like that. Ori is such a great game. And I just think like
Day
if the
one.
guys have already made
Day
something
one.
else, yeah. This is what they'd make. Nice. Ooh, zombies.
Oh man, that's some messed up stuff. They
What
got like
is
taking
that?
parts of the. Whoa, he's like taking parts of the world.
Whoa.
That was pretty crazy animation I got.
Yeah, this I'm really interested to play this. That's what
Hey,
I'm.
let's give us that date.
Come on, come on.
August.
August
Okay,
24th. Oh, no, later than I thought.
Now let's
Yeah,
settle
it
in
got
for a
delayed pretty
stylish new
far,
look
yeah.
at
Yeah.
Deathloop, a PS5 first-person
Hey,
shooter
Deathloop.
developed by the team
That's
at
the game.
Arcade.
Everybody's wondering if they're exclusive. We know about this
Oh, I
one.
forgot about that.
What?
This comes out in May.
Deathloop, yeah.
I'm not really sold on this game yet.
I'll give it a chance.
I wanted the multiplayer. If there's multiplayer.
Bring it, baby.
I think it's multiplayer.
I like the concept.
This is Ramblin' Frank's matinee.
Kenna looks awesome, but man, August. Oh, it's so fun.
Some asshole trying to break our loop. Cold. The visionaries are ready to dance. Are you?
Toxic illusion. Falling deeper spiral. Static delusion. This is
I just
Is
want
this
new
Arcane
stuff.
Studios?
Yeah. No, it's not Arcane.
Yeah,
Is it Arcane? I think
it
It's
is
Arcane.
Yeah.
It is Arcane. Same guys who did
the
Dishonored.
Arcane's game.
Yeah.
I'm not into their games. I don't think they're a bad developer. I'm just not into their game. Something about their art style, I just don't like that style.
Whoa, she could disguise herself. Ah, the one that's hunting you can disguise herself. See, if this is like multiplayer where they have the one that's hunting you while you're playing, like that would be pretty cool.
Basically, what Hitman should be like.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's a hit on you while you're doing a hit.
Trying to get the target right. See, this just reminds me of some.
Looks fun.
What's that arcade
It looks-
game they made?
It looking good. It looks good.
They got 3 of them.
You talking about Prey?
No,
Yeah,
not
Prey.
Prey. They got 3.
Oh,
3
she
of
got
them.
him.
They got a trilogy.
You talking about Dishonored?
Oh, look at this. Now he
Dishonored.
dies.
I
and then-
cannot get into that game at all. And I've tried so many times. to get
Whoa!
into it, I just-
Look at this. You're playing as
I don't know,
him
man.
now.
This looks pretty good.
I'm hoping it's good, but oh man.
I like the transversal.
You know what? I think in this game.
Oh, there she is. Dude, you know, I'm kind of liking
This looks
the
fun.
idea of that. That's pretty cool. So, like, you're just playing the game, and any of those characters could be her. That's hunting you down. So it's like a hidden boss
So this
fight,
would be-
basically.
So this would be what, a Microsoft first party game on PlayStation?
Well, it's
This is a Bethesda exclusive that's probably coming out to Xbox next year.
It's a timed exclusive for year. It is, yeah. It's a timed exclusive.
It's a time, right?
There's your hit.
What to do when the bullet is the same? The kill is always new.
Song's over, people. And so is Ramblin' Frank. The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
Before we leave, how about
Before we
a
leave.
huge update for one of 2020's most celebrated games?
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Oh, they're gonna end this with a Final Fantasy update. Let's go.
This
I want
is
that
what I
one
care
tonight
about.
because I got
Okay.
finished this game.
This is what I care about.
Give me a break.
Jesse! Barrett!
Where you been?
Yeah.
Footage cache on PlayStation 5, so they are updating it.
When? Say today. Say today.
I'll go through the whole game again with the update.
Oh, I'm going through it again. I'm playing on the harder difficulty. I'm doing my second playthrough. I already put like 70 hours. Man, this is my game.
When did this game come out? Was it April last year? What month was it?
I believe.
I think it was April. I remember going to PAX East, saw the voice actors in March. Yeah, it was like April. It was like end of April, I think.
Okay. What?
Man, I enjoyed this game so much.
Yeah, this game is amazing.
My name is
Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games.
An elite special forces operative.
Yeah, I would say
prove to our common enemy.
Story-wise.
Oh, so you got Yuffie's
Yuffie.
I'm back.
Yes.
Ah, there you
Wait,
are.
what's this?
Someone's been expecting.
Yuffie wasn't in the
Is it an expansion?
Sorry about that. Anyway,
Who's this guy?
looks like an expansion.
I'm so
Whoa, is that the guy from 8? No, who's this guy?
We lost him.
You what?
He will be okay.
That's
though,
Sid.
right?
I know Jay Barry's going crazy over this.
They're the ones who.
Oh
blew up
yeah,
the
I'm
reactors.
freaking sitting on that seat.
Should we say hi?
Yo, she was the mogul character, right? She could talk to the moguls.
After what they've done,
Mhm.
you gotta assume Shinra's on their tail.
Yeah,
She thought
she's
she
a
was a
mogul.
mogul, some crap like that. She was like,
We gotta help.
Yeah, 6 was my favorite Final Fantasy, but
"Oh, this."
oh, wait, this is different. What the heck?
Whoa. They're changing the script.
No freaking way!
Man, when is this coming? I want to play it now.
Oh,
Yes.
they're changing the script.
Play this now.
So Yuffie and Sony.
Wow.
Whoa.
There she go.
Got it.
Whatever it is they're planning, you're better off out of it.
They deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah.
Wait,
They do,
don't tell me this is
but I'm not
part 2
your
to it.
sister.
No, this is no.
Somebody wrote, Dylan in the chat says they might be doing like shorter episodes faster because she was remake integrate.
Let the hunt begin.
I'm so confused.
June 10th.
Homina, is this new game? Is this a free? What's going on?
I don't know. That's so
Is
confusing.
that DLC? I need explanations.
Hold on, wait, what's this? Oh, it's gonna upgrade.
Graphics on PlayStation 5.
Oh! Okay.
Oh, so they're updating the graphics. I can't see the difference.
I can't see the difference
Go back
on
and watch
these
it in 4K.
streams.
Gotta go back and watch it in 4K.
Yeah, I can't see the difference.
Oh, 60 FPS.
Oh,
60? Oh, hell yeah.
It looks like it's running at 60.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, well, I can't really see the difference right now on this crappy ass stream.
Oh yeah, I can tell the lighting
That's
difference.
right, the state of GMG.
Oh, the textures, they finally fixed those
can tell.
textures.
Textures, thank
Oh,
God.
they
Maybe
fixed
they'll
those
put those
textures.
friggin'
Thank
things in the
goodness.
distance. Thank God. 'Cause
Ooh, those textures.
Oh
man.
my.
they need those textures.
That
Oh, they did some fog. Got some fog.
Yeah, it's got it. It's running at 60.
Hate
It
that in
looks like
that
it's
stupid
running-
graveyard.
Yeah, it does look like it's running at 60.
It does.
That's the part I'm up to,
Yeah.
where I'm.
Will you be able to buy this upgrade though? Because I don't want to have to buy the whole game again.
Yeah, see, I don't know
I
what
think
that
if you
thing
own
is.
the game, you'll probably get it for free. We'll see. I'm hoping that's the case.
It'll be awesome. This update's right now. I wanted the PS5 update.
Okay, you know what? I can tell. Yeah, I definitely.
It looks better.
Yeah,
it
there's
looks
lighting
really-
and frame rate, Raven Flow. I see that. The lighting definitely. Right off of Tifa, yeah.
I just
see
want
that
them to
lighting.
say
Quality of life,
update.
let's see. Load times, I'm sure. Oh, 4K.
4K. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yes, that's 60. Oh wait, they changed the
Loading time.
the difficulty.
And then I will hear adaptive triggers.
Oh, that's pretty damn fast.
Photo mode! Thank God! That's what I like. You know I like myself a photo mode.
Yeah.
I like those photo modes. Get ready, Jez7780 grinds my gears Twitter. Get ready. I like myself some photo modes. And a new episode featuring Yuffie.
Okay,
It's
so
an episode.
come on, man.
So it's
Yeah,
an
I'm
episode.
definitely-
So that's coming out in June.
So wait, I wonder if it's like episode 1 of.
But
I'm so confused how they're doing this game.
Well, it better be
don't
free to
understand.
everybody. Let's see the next line. Free to everybody who has the game, because I got it right here. Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, free. Okay.
Woohoo! There it is. Give me that free. And a new episode.
Oh, you gotta purchase. You gotta purchase the Yuffie expansion.
Have to upgrade. Oh,
Okay, I don't mind that.
well, yeah. Well, that's an expansion. That's an
So
expansion.
wait,
I don't know how much it
upgrade
is.
free on June? I'm guessing,
That was
right?
the
Yeah,
reveal
the
of
upgrade is
Final
free.
Fantasy
The
VII
upgrade's free, you
Remake
just have to pay
Intergrade.
So it's
Coming to the
DLC
PS5
for
console
Final
later
Fantasy
this year.
VII.
And that's our show.
Oh,
As excited as we are for what's to come in 2021.
You know,
See you
guys,
next time.
get the hell out of here with your bullshit.
Okay, so
This
some of the
was a
predictions I
cool
made
show,
were
but
right.
not much new.
No, so they showed one new game we didn't know about, which I expected. They talked about some games getting up-res and all that. We didn't know about this whole Final Fantasy Integrate thing. That, to me, kind of was like, wow. But some of that stuff we saw on the Switch's, stage when they did their freaking Nintendo Direct, which was a lot longer. Nintendo. One thing I will give Nintendo Direct a thing for is they show a lot of crap. Whether you care about it or not, they always show a lot of stuff. Sony, they're more or less, they're like, we're going to show you 8 things and we're going to focus on 2 of them. And then some of them may be rehashes. So I just think this was just, for the average consumer, it was okay. But this wasn't like, oh my gosh, I got to run out and, get a PS5 right now. But
You
this
can't
is
get
okay.
one anyway. They probably know that.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, you still can't get one. Shoot,
Still
I'm
can't
looking
get one.
for a Series X right now because I got a big plan coming up.
Why? Why you want to play on that?
Look,
I got
the
one
reason
and I don't even use it.
look,
I
here's the
haven't played
thing. I'm
nothing
looking
on
for
it.
I'm looking for a Series X because I'm trying to plan for this whole Halo thing, but I'm thinking I
Plans
should
for
wait
who?
till
For Halo? What do you mean Halo?
Look,
Listen,
Halo's the
Frog,
only reason I
you're
want
gonna have
it.
plenty of time to talk about Halo.
But I
There'll be
think
plenty of
I was
time.
just about to say that. I think I'm gonna have time to talk about it and play it.
Yeah.
But because I'm hoping they release a Halo.
Dude, I would not.
console.
I
That's my
wouldn't
hope.
suggest buying unless there's something crazy. I
You know
wouldn't
what's
suggest
kinda-
buying a whole console just for Halo right now.
Well,
Listen,
that's
let me
what's
tell you
kind of
something.
weird about the state
Go
of
ahead.
play that they didn't show Ninja Gaiden. We know that's coming to PS5 and
Mhm.
PS4. That whole Sigma trilogy. They didn't show that, which I guess you don't want to rehash some things, but like there are a lot of games. And I'm not gonna lie that I saw at the and this goes back to this how they do these shows. There was a lot of games I saw at Nintendo Direct that I thought were only on the Switch, and then come to find out they're multi-plats. Like when they showed that,
Maybe
Ninja
they have the
Gaiden, I was
marketing deal for those.
they may because when they showed Ninja Gaiden,
Hit that like button,
Sigma,
everybody.
I was
Frog's
like,
looking
holy
for a
crap,
Series
man,
X.
I want that.
That's Frog. That's what Frog said. Frog, you see the state of play, and the first thing you say is, "I'm trying to find the Series X for
Series X.
Halo." I'm like, what?
Hey,
Exactly. Why?
and not even
Why
Talk
do you
about
need
a-
it?
Halo Infinite.
Dude, I'm
Not
gonna
even
say,
Halo
talk about a game that needs a whole goddamn showcase of 45 minutes. That game needs a 45-minute showcase as a friggin' the first 5 minutes will be an apology, and then the rest of it's the goddamn game.
Hey, not even for the new Halo Infinite. I just want it for Halo 5. That's all.
Halo 5.
No,
Halo
I mean,
5.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
but
man.
what I'll say is like,
So we got.
I think that most of these companies when they do like their shows, like Nintendo and Sony, I think Sony's kind of stuck to this. We'll show you 8 to 10 maybe games, maybe something new. And Nintendo's like, we're going to show you a whole bunch of crap that was on the 360 and PS3. It's just we can play it portable. And with Microsoft, they're kind of, I don't know, when have they did an Inside Xbox, whatever that's called? Have they did one
They
of
don't do
this
those
year?
anymore. They're gonna. They haven't.
don't do them
they're
anymore?
having other things. But like Dylan was saying in the chat, he's saying like Nintendo was just a Smash character and a $60 Wii port. So you're right. It is the beginning of the year. It's the first time since the holiday they came back. They're kind of looking at this stuff. I'm glad we got a couple of dates. So in this thing, really, they got the Bandicoot upgrade coming in March 12th. For that game. I'll say maybe get it if it's on sale because I think that thing came out at $40. I don't even know. Returnal is looking good. I still think I still think as much as we're seeing of it, I still think they need to show. I want to see just a gameplay loop. Like I want to see her play and then die and what that looks like because I keep hearing about this randomized levels and all this other stuff, and it's just like, because that could be a mess. Like, that could be messy if you get a randomized level and it's like, oh, well, this house, this thing was, when you see similar assets, but then they just kind of recycled because it's randomized.
Right.
I'm hoping that you don't see repetitiveness in that. And, but I know the thing with this, the combat is going to be amazing. It's really going to be if that's going to be enough to kind of hold it and to justify $70. That's my opinion.
I think the game is going to be very difficult, and I think that may be what turns people off. That those guys don't make games that are easy, not at all. So I think that could be one of the things that may turn people off. And it's not that the game doesn't look good, doesn't play well. It's just so hard. People are like, I don't like. Which I'm up for a challenge, but. And there's just some games out there. I'm like, damn, man, like is this really what I want? Do I want to be frustrated? So there's some games you're like, no. I think some of the stuff at the State of Play, they could have left that Knockout City. That's definitely something that didn't need to be shown.
But I'm showing the Returnal one now. So like the thing is that they did say death is not so they want you to die so that you learn things. So like again, I think it's gonna be that kind of that loop of like the gameplay loop of the combat is gonna be there. And basically, that's going to keep you going. But the progress is going to be kind of in the background as you keep dying and you get
Holy
you learn.
Crap!
So
I'm watching that martial arts game.
Oh, that looked pretty damn cool. That martial arts game.
That game looks. Yeah, that game.
That looked pretty good. So Returnal, I just to wrap up on Returnal. So what do you like? They had like. I think it looks good. I still I think this thing is going to do well if they do a friggin' demo. I think they need to do like a demo of this. Like, I don't know if they could just drop this at $70 and say, hey, enjoy Returnal, because I still don't know. The fact that she sees a house, like, that's pretty weird, like, the house. But is that, like, a gameplay element that randomly happens? Or the thing is you need to know the legs of this. That's my issue. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm interested in the game, but I want to know more. That's a $69 game, and I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's just there's more I want to know. I do think that it may be just looking at it. It looks like something I will enjoy. Yeah. So, am I gonna buy it? Probably, but
probably it's been dry.
Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, there are other things coming out. Like I'm not the thing I'm most excited about, and this, believe it or not, is the Mass Effect trilogy coming out. But
I won't play Mass Effect 2.
So
the rest of them I don't.
I mean, there's a lot of things they've shown. I would say in the past couple of days, as far as gaming, especially on PlayStation side. Like the Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition coming to PS5 and Samurai Warriors 5. They showed that. I'm not a big fan of that, but somebody likes it. The Nier Replicant. They showed that on the PS5 running. Star Wars Republic Commando, which
I'm hyped for that. Republic Commando. Here's that EA thing that we need. This is what I wanted to do during the show. Fast forward.
Yeah. It Takes Two. They showed that.
That looks cool. Here's that. This game was the surprise. Whatever this game is. Sifu.
Chaos.
Hey, what's up, Ice Queen Gaming? How you doing? This game was pretty cool.
Tony Hawk is getting redone for the PS5. So there's a lot of stuff they showed. So I don't think this is going to be totally dry.
This looks freaking cool.
But what I think is that a lot of things that you already have are
like virtual fighting
for your PS5. Games that came out at the end of the PS4 generation, like the Sinking City is getting a PS5 version. And Diablo 2. I'm actually interested in Diablo 2. I can't wait till that comes out. But like certain games like that freaking Knockout City, I don't.
I fast forwarded. I'm going to this Sifu game.
We knew that was coming when they did the Nintendo Direct.
Yo, this is up my alley. The Sifu. I like this. I like this kind of just like this is a just
that Sifu game. That's interesting. That's something we didn't know about. The Final Fantasies to me is like the one thing I care the most about from what I saw outside of
Sifu looks good.
Bridge of Spirits. Which I want to see that 4K Bridge of Spirits. I gotta watch it.
I'm watching. I'm putting it in high. So and then this was the other game that they had. This Solar Ash, which is like the Pathless. Again, the one thing I had a problem with the Pathless, I loved it, but at first they were charging $50 for that game, and then they dropped it to $40, which was more reasonable. But $30 is probably the ideal. I think it was a little high overpriced for what it was, but the game was awesome. I just think that it was overpriced. They got that launch finesse on it. You know, it was a launch game, new
I
game
agree.
for the PlayStation 5. This definitely looks like Soul Ash looks like something that is taking elements of that. It's being by the same people. And this is supposedly Hyper Blade, I think they were saying in the chat. It's like a reimagining of that game, which I believe is an older game with the Hyper Blade where you transverse the environment like this. Looks cool. Hey, I'm up for these games, but there's a time and a place for me to play these games. Like, I'm not running out day one and grabbing these things. These are like, when the dust is settled and I played, like, the stuff that I want to play, maybe, my second tier, third tier type game for me. But what do you think about Solar Ash? Not to be confused with Solar S or Bleeding Ash.
Solar Ash is cool, but I mean, like I said, out of everything I saw there, the only thing I know for a fact I'll probably buy day one is Kenna. Anything Final Fantasy, I'll definitely buy, and I'll probably buy Returnal as it stands. But like I said, man, like Kenna looks just. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it now. I'm gonna go to Kenna. I'm just trying to recap it from this thing.
Solar Ash, I will say, like, I don't think it's gonna be a bad game from what it looks like, but I think that I can wait to play it. Oddworld was one of those games. That I said looks like a PS Plus game because, and the reason
I got to go back to that now. You're saying about we're skipping over Five Nights at Five Nights at Phil. Five Nights at Phil. We're skipping over that. That's Five Nights at Freddy for the fans out there. If you want to say it, I guess it's the PlayStation 5 version or some. It's a new game, I think.
It's a new game.
But I want to get right to what you were saying about Oddworld. Frog was saying that this is deemed for the pass. He gave it the Frog's tramp stamp of Game Pass.
The reason why
and let's see what happens.
PS Plus game is because if anybody knows Laura Lanning and the Oddworld Inhabitant Studios, their games are good. They don't sell though. So they're known for being a PlayStation, like they. Outside of the
here it is.
Xbox games, they're known for being the PlayStation devs. So I don't think that Laura Lannon is making a bad game. But what I think is nobody wants to play that type of what he's bringing to the table is basically a whole remake of the Oddworld kind of old 2D PS1 games. And people are like, oh, okay, I've seen that and heard it before, but nobody's gonna rush out there to buy that thing for much less $39. So I think it fits on PlayStation Plus perfectly.
Yep.
And it goes to saying, like, if you get games like that in Game Pass, that makes Game Pass looks good because there's a great quality game, but it may not sell. There's a certain games like
the
that
thing with Destruction All Stars, I'll say, it just lacked content and progression. But Destruction All Stars was a polished game. It wasn't no preview broken game. Like it had a clean look to it. It had the destruction. Right. It just doesn't have the longevity of the legs right now, and it needs content and progression. But that first night or two, like, it was fun. But after a while, like, it just is not. I'm waiting for content to drop.
It became super repetitive.
Which they're adding playlists to it. Now, for games like this, but this is something I just want to point out. So you said Frog gave it. Man, we got to listen to Frog. Frog's Adamus right here. He gave it. He looked at it. He goes. He gave it the sniff. He gave it the once over. And Frog's like, to Game Pass you go. And lo and behold, there it is. Frog gave the call, and it said right here, popped up on PlayStation
PS Plus you go.
It says, sorry, Frog gave it the sniff and the scratch. It says, as Oddworld Soulstorm, available to PlayStation 5, PlayStation Plus members from April 6th to May 3rd. So the one thing I want to talk about before I get to the next thing is that this is something that Sony's been doing now since the PlayStation 5. They're taking PlayStation Plus and they're launching new PlayStation 5 games into the system. So we had Bug Snacks. We had the Worms Destruction game. You got Destruction All Stars. Now you got Oddworld Soulstorm. These are brand new PlayStation 5 games. Say what you want with the size of them, whether they're $60 games, $20 games, but they're brand new PlayStation 5 games that use the system, like the adaptive triggers and stuff like that. That is something of value that they're doing.
And they're in the service. The service, they're giving you like 3 to 4 games a month, and the games are pretty good.
Yeah, and guess what, guys?
For what it's worth.
It's for $5.99 a month, $5 a month. and you're getting a PlayStation 5 game, plus they're giving you 2 other games or other games in that. So like you know what we're getting in PlayStation Plus. Now we don't know what we're getting next month. I'm assuming that's probably going to come out later today or tomorrow. But the thing is that they're making PlayStation Plus sort of like a Game Pass slight value thing, because you're getting your discounts, you're getting your online, and you're getting new games in the service. They're not just like, I thought they were just going to load PlayStation Plus with a whole bunch of old-ass PS4 games. You get the collection, and you're getting this. So, hey, this is a shift in their services right now, and I like it because we're getting new games in the service day one without paying for another subscription, without doing another $15 a month.
Right.
So this is something to keep in mind. They're doing this, and they're making these games available only to PlayStation 5 Plus members. So this is kind of, I think, an extension of the PlayStation Plus collection, which we said that I think, Frogs, me and you said it back when they launched that PlayStation Plus collection, where they have those 20 incredible games. Well, like, this might be their answer to Game Pass, and it looks like with each coming months, they're adding more games to that collection, which basically is giving you.
At this point, I can see
games.
Sony saying, you know, PlayStation Plus has maybe transitioned to the PlayStation Plus collection.
Yeah.
And all the games that are in there, we're just going to keep adding this game, that game. You know, because some of them are older games, and then some of the newer games, but there's some older games in there that are still very popular.
They're pacifying the time.
You would not believe, and I was listening to a developer. I can't remember if it was yesterday, the day before, and the developer was talking about, you know, him developing, you know, for multiple different consoles, and he said specifically about PlayStation, he said you would not believe how many people have not played the Uncharted series, the Last of Us series, or even the God of War series. He said there's so many new people to these games that by Sony, you know, putting that PlayStation Plus collection, because they were talking about Game Pass, and he talked about how PlayStation Plus collection was really like, you know, like there were so many games in there. A lot of people who didn't own PlayStations last generation, when they got a PS5, they were like, oh, so I get all these new games. He said there are a lot of people, just like vice versa. He said, you know, there are a lot of people who didn't play Gears, but the difference is, you know, with Gears and Halo, they're kind of, you know, they're synonymous with, you know, Xbox. And he said, you know, it's good for them to go on Game Pass because they don't sell it. Because even if like an Uncharted 4 sells 20 million copies, that's a lot to us. But he goes, man, when you sell 115 million consoles, he goes, man, you know how many more people you can reach?
Yeah.
And so he said, you know, a lot of people never played the Ratchet and Clank game. So Sony making a new Ratchet and Clank is a great thing. You know, Sony saying, here's the old Ratchet and Clank from PS4 and here's our God of War, and here's our Infamous game, and here's our Days Gone. And I think that, you know, when you look at something like this, I think it kind of, looking at this state of play, I kind of see a trend here. Like I said, with all three of them, I think that all three of them are going their own separate way. Nintendo and Sony are similar-ish,
yeah,
but they're still different. But Microsoft is totally going a different way.
Yeah, Microsoft's going another
PlayStation
way. And Microsoft needs, like, and I think these state of plays, both for Nintendo and for Sony, I think are proving to be, you know, they're what people need. And I think Microsoft, I know they got rid of that whole Xbox 2020 thing, but like if they think they're going to do like Phil Spencer interviews and stuff like that, like they're going to need to have some sort of, you know, and the thing is too, we saw gameplay. We saw games. We saw release dates. Like this wasn't what Major Nelson's show was about. Like Major Nelson's show was like he sat there and just talked to people and heads, and they had the Twitter board, and it was just a Game Pass commercial. It was like, hey, here are games coming. This has new games, release dates, and actually it's moving things forward. Where the other one seemed like more of like just a cringe fest. And I think Microsoft needs to do something like that. But I think this was pretty effective. It's not bad. It's not no 8 or 9.
And I'm gonna say this, Jazz. You know what it is, Jazz? And this is why I like you, because one thing, and you know this, and what I'm gonna say is so true, because you always said, if you watch how the companies work, Sony, the company, and Microsoft, the company, are two different companies. The way Microsoft moves, and just as a company, is totally different the way Sony moves. And the way the Xbox game division moves it moves way different than the PlayStation. So when I look at Microsoft as a company, and I've said this generation, Microsoft's game company has become more like a Microsoft company. Instead of just saying, here's Xbox, it's become more like, Microsoft owns it, but it's become more of that Microsoft Xbox instead of just being an Xbox.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation is like its own thing, and then Sony's like, we're our own thing. Even though you're under us, PlayStation's its own thing. Xbox, I don't kind of feel like it's its own thing. I feel like Xbox gives off a hard, we're Microsoft vibe.
Well, they have been the last few years and stuff like that. But
I
thought you were going to say how, like, it feels like they move so slow compared to how Sony could just kind of announce these things and do this stuff. And it seems like they have hard time to kind of grasp what they want to say and what they want to do.
But you know what? You said it. You said it so many years ago. Yeah. You said they do move slow. Microsoft is kind of like the company is like, oh, we got a new version of this, and we got a new version of this.
They hype up the wrong stuff.
Keep upgrading, right? And they keep upgrading to where they get to a point where they're like, okay, well, we don't need to upgrade beyond Windows, whatever, and we'll leave it here. And if it works, it works. Whatever doesn't work, you just deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like people will either deal with it or they just won't deal with it at all, or vice versa. They'll say, oh, we got, it's like you said before, hey, we got this service out called Zune, and it's going to work. It's going to do this. And the next thing you know, we're getting rid of Zune.
Frog, this Kenna thing looks friggin' sick.
Microsoft is really that company. They will throw something in the trash in a heartbeat and be like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. Whereas Sony doesn't have the ability to really do that. Not even, I would say, Nintendo. Nintendo, yes, but Sony doesn't have the ability to do that. And I don't even think Nintendo wants to do that. Like, every once in a while, they'll get a game and they'll be like, okay, as far as the PlayStation's concerned and Sony, and as far as Nintendo, as far as the game divisions, I think with Microsoft, it's kind of like, well, if we're good, if we succeed, we succeed. If we don't, F it.
Oh, well, that's where it is with it. But I do have to say, so Ice Queen said that she really enjoyed watching it. You know what? I'm going back and watching this Kenna in a little bit higher resolution, not even the 4K.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you the part. Watch this, and just the chat and stuff. Like, watch this part here, where I'm just like, first off, Kenna's coming out August 24th. So it's a little bit. It's not coming out in March, where everybody thought. It's coming out August 24th. We don't know the price of it. Is it a $70 game? It's definitely looking like it's billed more, though, in the higher end of gaming from what I'm seeing here than a lower end. So I'm thinking this it might be trickling on the $60, $50 price range. Maybe the $70. I don't know. But we don't know the price of Kenna. But I'm telling you, whatever this game is, it looks phenomenal. All right? The gameplay looks great. The character, watch her, right? Is this the part where she's running down the hill? Look at her face. And I don't know if you could see this on the stream, but look at her face and animations. It looks like you're controlling a movie. Like a Pixar movie like that. Like it looks better than what we've seen. Watch, where is this? Is this the part where she run down the hill? I just for some reason, like, and yeah, I don't know. It looks freaking cool as hell. And it has a little bit of a Horizon Zero Dawn with the whole jumping and slow motion and shooting and stuff like that. Like, oh my god, look at this. Yeah, this part. Like, man, like her running down that hill right there. I'm like, her hair's flopping. Her hair's flapping in the wind. She's running down. And has a little bit of like Lemmings look, like where she could control it. Yo, Kenna looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, that looks so cool. Now, let me see something. It says that it's coming on August 24th. This was crazy, Frog. When the lady took over and it like was just building, that demon just built onto her, like parts of the jungle, parts of the woods. But man, this looks so freaking crazy.
I'm still here, man.
No, I'm just saying, I want to see if this is... So Kenna is coming to PlayStation 4 as well, right? I think it's 4 and 5.
Yes, PS4, PS5. I don't know if it's going anywhere beyond that, but I know it is coming to PlayStation.
Pre-order August 24th. So there it is. So that was. I thought Kenna looked incredible. Kenna looked incredible. I thought Deathloop looked pretty damn good. That's another game that's coming out in May.
See, I think I got to be sold more in Deathloop. I mean,
yeah.
I guess because I'm not a big Arcane fan. Like, I've tried to play their games. You know how like this is that one.
You're right, J-Cap. Probably 60, 50, 60.
I've tried to get into their games, man. I cannot get into Arcane Studios games. I own a lot of them. I just can't get into them. Yeah. I've tried. I don't know what it is about their games.
That's right.
Maybe
Sam.
they just maybe this would be the game that pull me in. I don't know.
Well, you know, I still like. I don't. So in chat, you could answer this too. I don't think this is multiplayer, right? This is just single player game, right? Deathloop. I don't think it's multiplayer.
Deathloop. Hold on, let me check.
Because from what I looked like, it looks like so she could disguise, like there it is, like she could disguise as some of the environmental characters. So it looks like you go around, do your hit, but one of the people in that thing is gonna be her, and she's gonna be basically like manipulating the environment to hunt you. So it's kind of like this person hunting you, but it's like a boss fight. It reminds me of that Assassin's Creed multiplayer. But
okay,
I don't.
So it does say Deathloop is multiplayer.
Is it?
Supports up to 2 players online with PS Plus.
Oh,
yes.
Now that might be even that. So Frog, it's almost like that Assassin's Creed thing.
This is what it says. You are a hero or a villain. Deathloop allows you to go through the campaign and destroy the time loop as Colt, or invade another player's game as a Colt's rival.
There you go. And she could
Juliana. And the whole mission is protect the loop. Both Colt and Juliana have access to their own unique abilities. So I think, you know what it reminds me of? Kind of like a Dark Souls or a Demon Souls game where you can, because they said invade.
See,
you
there
can
you
just
go
in somebody's random game and you can just invade.
So I'm just showing the part now where he's going through the mission right here, and then one of the NPCs or the guys that you're fighting winds up being her, and then it's like a boss fight. Like she kind of like
That's kind of interesting.
It's interesting. The fact that they got multiplayer, we'll see how the lag and all that other stuff was. But I like that idea. I like the idea of you could be the villain or you could be the hero, and you both have 2 sets of missions because you could go in and you're right, like a Demon Souls or something along those lines. Very intriguing game. We don't need to wait for anybody to sign a $7.5 billion deal to find out that this is only coming on PlayStation in May. So I don't know. I just heard some shows, people still talking about Bethesda games being exclusive after Microsoft spent $7.5 billion. But meanwhile, 2 exclusives coming to Sony. They didn't have to spend $7.5 billion. So you know what? This is another thing to say. You don't need to buy studios to get games to your consumers. All right? You just have to have the willingness to bring those exclusive games to your fans. And that's what Microsoft has lacked to do. They have forgotten about their fans, and they think that they missed the mark. They're buying companies because it benefits them for Game Pass. It doesn't benefit you as a consumer. They could be bringing games to you. Sony's not buying $7.5 billion.
If I give my total opinion, I still do think some of these games that Bethesda is going to make will come to other consoles, but they may not come the same time. But I think they will eventually come, and I don't think that and I think the reason Microsoft does it is because Microsoft really doesn't care.
No, they have a mission. They got a mission, dude. They got a mission.
And because I've heard people say, "Oh, well, if it was Sony and Nintendo, it would only be on their consoles." Yeah, because they would have no choice.
But they have a history of doing that, Frog. Like that's the thing. I heard somebody complaining, going, "Why does Microsoft have to get questions?"
Microsoft is $1 trillion company.
They can bring these games there.
They don't care about this console.
They just don't want to put their money there
like everybody else does. Sony's like, this is what is feeding us. Our PlayStation division is really feeding us a lot more than a lot of our other divisions. So we have to do this. It's survival. Yeah. Microsoft doesn't need to do this for survival. Microsoft at any point can say the whole Xbox game division is going to be sold to whoever, and they wouldn't hurt them a pinch. Just like when Elon Musk lost $15 billion on Bitcoin in one day. You really think that hurt him? $15 billion is nothing, that man. So it's the same with Microsoft. $1 trillion company. They don't care if these games go multi-plat. I could even say the same with Nintendo. Nintendo does not care. Most of these companies don't care about the consumer. They care about their bottom dollar. You think Nintendo really cares if they're about to sell you a Zelda game for $59.99 with some Zelda controllers for $89.99 or whatever they are? They don't give a damn. They care about their bottom line, and Nintendo's value stays high because they're like, we're not going to drop the price of our game because we know our value. No matter what any gamer says and how they feel about Nintendo sees their worth. They won't drop the games. Sony sees their worth. Microsoft is like, we're in it to make money, and we got to put this shit on all platforms, PC, PlayStation. We're going to do it. We don't care, because at the end of the day, What makes them more money? Yeah, we can put this in Game Pass, but put it on PlayStation for $69.99, and they'll buy it still.
Yeah, it's about the content, and the thing is like that's why
Yeah.
I'm just like I see so many people consuming so much energy trying to figure out if Bethesda games are exclusive, and you want to know what? If they come out and Starfield isn't, like, that is just and people will be like, that's a fail. I want to see how many people call out Microsoft and say that's a fail and not say, oh, it's a good thing. But Starfield 2 is going to be exclusive. That's what's going to happen. People not going to say, because people will say right now, if those games are not exclusive, then that's a fail for Microsoft for paying $7.5 billion and not having exclusive games. But you want to know what? As soon as they say that game is multiplat, people will be like, oh, well, Starfield 2 in 2027, that will be exclusive. All right, whatever. Enjoy. Live that long. But the thing is like, another thing that didn't get announced, Frog, is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going through the Twitters to see if they announced it. Still no Xbox port, but we're getting some enhancements on the PlayStation 5 and DLC.
I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Yuri.
I don't think that Final Fantasy VII is coming to Xbox anytime soon. I will never say it will never, but I don't think that they're interested in that. They know their market. They know where and what's going to sell. We all look, when people hear Final Fantasy VII, they think of PlayStation. You know, it's. I'm gonna tell you like this, Jazz. There's a couple things that help and hurt the industry, right? Games being like, and a lot of people will say, games being everywhere, like when Tekken came to all platforms, Tekken sales went down and Tekken got worse. You know, when Tekken was only on PlayStation, it was synonymous with PlayStation. People, you heard the name Tekken, you thought PlayStation. When game developers, Japanese game developers, like, we got to put this game here, I don't think it was a bad thing, but when has Resident Evil been good again after basically like part 4? You know, part 5 was okay. Part 6 wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Then they had to reboot. So what I'm saying is, like, you know, they rebooted the series, and now they're just doing the remake, Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3, because they kind of got to the point where once you started doing for all platforms, you kind of got up that, because everybody knows Resident Evil, the Final Fantasies, Tekken. There's certain games you hear and you're like PlayStation. There's certain games you hear and you're like Nintendo, and there's certain games you hear and you're like Xbox. But a lot of the games you hear on Xbox are games, you know, they didn't even kind of really have a strong bond with as far as the company. They just like, make this for us, and if it does good, we'll buy you. You know, so when people hear Bungie, people think Xbox.
Well, just like, you know, this whole buying notion, the thing is that other companies are doing it without having to buy anybody. So, like, you know, the fantasy with buying companies in order to get games, I just still don't grasp it, because the thing is that it never happened before. You know,
and my theory is
that didn't need to happen. You know, we weren't yelling in the 360 going like, buy Epic. You got to buy Epic. Get Gears. You got to buy Epic. No. Yeah. Nobody bought anybody. We got games.
You know why they did this? And this is how I feel about Microsoft as a business. They bought all these studios just in case. They were like, look, we just can't compete hardware-wise. Fuck it. Let's just put our software everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
we'll be a publisher, and we can make more money like that. We don't give a damn. We'll publish games. And, you know, we'll continue for whoever bought the last, whatever Xbox system they had. We'll continue to put it on there. But after this, we're not doing it anymore. Because I really don't think they want to be in the hardware business. I really don't.
They want to be in the service business and stuff like that.
They want to be in the service
I've frozen on that
business,
PlayStation, the PlayStation 4, 5 so the remake. So if you own a copy of the PlayStation 4 version of Final Fantasy VII, you could upgrade to the 5 for free.
Copy. Yes.
You could even carry over your save data, which is good because I'm not halfway done with the game. And then it says new episode featuring Yuffie available for purchase after upgrade to the Yuffie. Yes. So so it looks like that oh wait, here we go. To upgrade your PlayStation for this version to the look at that. Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense. If you had the disc, because I have the PlayStation 4 disc version. Yeah, you can't upgrade it. If
you know, I wonder how much the Yuffie expansions are going to cost.
That's a question. That's a good question.
I'm hoping it's not. If it's a full, you know, I wonder, like, what is it? It better not be on $59 for.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm thinking 20.
I don't think so.
Maybe
20, maybe at the most 40. But what I'll say is,
well, it depends. It depends how long it is.
Yeah, you know, I'm interested in it because, you know, I'm just my my thing with Final Fantasy VII, I'm interested because it's a part of Final Fantasy, but there again, I'm like, okay, everybody expected them to do like Final Fantasy VII Episode 2 with the, and maybe they're just gonna do their episodes in short bursts, $20 a pop. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Maybe that's how they're gonna do it as a service.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that, but maybe that's what Square wants to do. They're just gonna say, okay, here's a piece of episode. Here's the next installment of this person's story. Because it seems like what they're doing is they're trying to break down everybody's backstory, so you really get to know the characters, and they're trying to build it to a climax or something. You know, so maybe this is a 7-year game in the making where they're like, hey, we can give you $20 for this piece right
crap.
here.
They're gonna milk it. Oh no.
Hey, every year we get a $20 expansion.
Oh whoa. Oh man, they're gonna milk 7 until I don't know when the hell they're gonna milk it to.
Hold on, but Jez, does that sound bad? We can't be mad at that when people are out here buying $69 bundles.
Well, it depends if that money's worth. It all comes down to worth, and you know what I mean. That's we'll have to. Yeah, somebody Glinda says you're gonna have to wait years to have the complete edition.
Basically. And
you're gonna be talking to your grandkids. Here is all the good 7 years to build this collection of Final Fantasy VII. It's gonna be 7 years.
Yeah, my grandkids will be playing it when it finally finishes.
Here's the Ultimate Collector's Edition, the Black Edition, friggin' Evening Wear Edition.
Be in college.
Go to college. This is it. It's like, you got the whole collection of Final Fantasy VII. I didn't think anybody was going to live to collect all those games. Oh, man. But, yeah, anyway, so it's interesting. I'm really, cool for the, the remake stuff, especially since, like, I didn't finish the full game. So, like, carrying over the save and, getting photo mode, which I'm always good for photo mode there. And, getting those features added. But, yeah, hey. That was their headliner. I would say, in my review of this thing, is not a lot of games that we didn't know already. The Final Fantasy thing was nice. The Kenna looked awesome. The Deathloop still looks pretty intriguing. Returnal looks intriguing. I still, I want to see more of it. I think there's some dev interview right now that's talking about it, so I'll probably read that. But overall, I would say this sits around like a C. I would say like a 7, for that stuff. No real craziness. Solid and just kind of there. Again, we're getting a lot of kind of upgrades to PlayStation 4 games. I'm glad that some of them are free. Most of them are free, but I do like this idea of adding content with the upgrade. So, even though you have to pay for it, some content, but like I do like that idea of adding something new to go along with the old. So I do like that, what they did Final Fantasy. Gears was another one that kind of did that. They upgraded Gears 5, but then they also added, that 3-hour DLC. So, it's nice to have something new in addition, so you're not just redoing the same thing over again. So I like that with Final Fantasy, and, to see this game definitely was a bit of a struggle on the PlayStation 4. Like, it looked great, but there was the fuzz, the textures that was a big issue, was the textures. So seeing this with the textures improvement, that will be definitely something that's welcoming, because the textures were a bit rough in the Final Fantasy VII remake. But the gameplay and stuff is there, and I do have to say, like, this was pretty good. Kenna looks absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it's coming out in August. But I think August is a good month for that. I think that's a good month so far. Some of these other games, that fighting game Sifu, I like that one. But otherwise, yeah, it was all right. It is what it is. Like, I don't know if they're going to do these once a month. It's kind of like the randomness of these state of plays is kind of a bit of annoyance that they just kind of just drop them. But yeah, it was all right. It was better. I would say it's better than the Nintendo Direct. That's all I would say. If you want to compare it to something. The Nintendo Direct was a little bit rough. So, yeah, I don't know. Frog, what do you give it? You give it a...
I mean, if I had to give it a score, I'd give it probably a 6.
A 6? Oh, he's a little lower than me.
Yeah, I mean... It
was like, it was like a 6. Right there. Like, it didn't show us a lot of new stuff. And And you know, maybe that's because that stuff like this, and you know that they're sitting on the God of War, they're sitting on the Horizon. Gran Turismo is coming out next year. You know, so like they're sitting on stuff. I really think that this would have been a much. I think with the COVID stuff going on, I think that has just caused a lot of caution, and I think everybody's just playing it safe as to what they want to kind of share and stuff like that. So but you never know; these dates might be pushed out. But Sam Ash says he gives it a C+. Any other grades? C+ works, Dylan says. C+, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. It is what it is. It was definitely, you know, what we kind of expected. You know, a deep. I'm surprised Ratchet really wasn't in there, unless they're going to do that for, and in the coming months, probably for a state of play. They probably want to hype up that Returnal. So, you know, but again, no. I'm looking here on Twitter to see if they said anything about Final Fantasy going anywhere else with that upgrade. But I don't see it. Let's see here. Let's see, is anything... Uh-oh. Xbox Live is down. Oh, J-Dubs, he's so freaking hilarious. He goes, state of Xbox. This is Xbox Live is down. Oh, Jesus, man. That is freaking funny. Justin Y gives it an E-. Holy crap, Justin. What were you expecting? An E-. I never even seen a grade... At least it's not an F. I guess it's always below an F. I guess he's giving it below an F. So he's not happy. Justin Y is not happy. But yeah, it was a decent show, Froggy. It was all right. It was Yo, J Dubs is freaking hilarious. I'm just trying to look on Twitter to see if there's anything going down. Let's see. Performance mode, so just some more details. Final Fantasy VII Remake got performance mode, 60 frames, which is welcomed. Graphics mode, absorb it in 4K. And a new episode featuring Yuffie, which you'll have to play. Yuffie, whatever her name is. And, let's see. Any other news? Kenna is August 24th we got out of this. Usually they drop these things and they kind of say other things. They got that direct feed. Definitely want to see that on Final Fantasy. I
mean, everything.
Justin says he's expecting gameplay from. Yeah, I agree, Justin. Yeah, you know, expecting gameplay from a game announced 8 months ago. Yeah, I agree. You know, and you know what? That's a good point because you know I do feel that you know with like how quiet Sony is, I feel like, you know, you show a game, you show some of these things in you know, your July showcase, whatever the hell they showed it, and then you kind of go quiet, you do little things here and there, and then you have another one, and then you show the same games again. You know, maybe a little bit more gameplay. Like, you know, the thing is like, I think you have one chance to make an impression. If there's like a new feature or new capabilities that you didn't show, then maybe, but yeah, if you're just going to kind of re-show us everything again, and that's basically what this was. Like, it was Kenna, it was Returnal, it was Deathloop, it was, you know, it was, what was it? It was all those games that we saw already, you know? But obviously more about it. You know, they got to build up the hype for it and keep marketing. But again, you can't just show a game in July and then not talk about it and then release it. We know who does that stuff. And that's not good either. Because that makes you question going, what the hell what's going on with this game?
I think them saying 2021.
No, I wouldn't say that, Justin. Justin's going crazy here. He says the Xbox show in July had no gameplay, but was somehow miles better than this. Huh? No, the question you got to be asking, Justin, is you got to be asking what the hell happened to all those games they showed in July, because we haven't seen GOTS since then. So that's a concern. So, yeah, I'll be happy to see more gameplay than no gameplay at all and say that's better. So I don't agree there. Shame, Arnold.
Relax. You've been erased.
You got the Arnold. You get the Arnold. But what were you saying, Frog?
I was saying, like, I personally think that them putting a year is better than putting a month behind it or a date, because then if they have to delay it, it's not as bad. I think one thing that it's bad is when you're like coming out in June or July or whatever, and then you're like, oh, we had to delay it because of COVID or whatever. My whole thing is if you just put 2021 and you got to delay it, no sweat. But if you're like coming out in next month in April and then you're like, oh, sorry for the delay, we got to polish it and do more blah blah blah. It's like we saw this with you know, Cyberpunk and they're going through all their things. I would rather them just say a year and keep it pushing at this point. I kind of feel like a year is better.
Gotcha. All right.
I
I'm
don't
seeing
know
here
about
we got some
everybody else. That's
detail.
a
No, I agree. You know, having a year on it, I understand, because then they could kind of fluctuate. I like seasons, fall season, all that other stuff. That gives them some outage too. Actually, I'm looking, Frog, right now. They got the deluxe edition so the standard edition of Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is $70. That's the remake with Yuffie and Star. So they're adding $10 to a year-old game. Frog, what are we doing here? $70 for that. So where the hell is the Yuffie expansion by itself?
Wait, $70 for what?
For Final Fantasy VII remake and the expansion.
Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. Hey, man, they're finding ways to hit that $70. I tell you, I think everybody's going out of their way, though. You know? So, like, I guess Final Fantasy, how much is Final Fantasy by itself is, well, they're still saying it's $60 on, but bullshit, that thing was on sale for like $20, wasn't it? Final Fantasy Remake during the holiday, it was like $20. So I'm thinking that Yuffie expansion has got to be about $20, maybe $20, $30. That's what I'm thinking. So that Intergrade thing, we'll have to see. But right now, that Intergrade, you could get Final Fantasy VII, and that expansion on the PS5 for $70. But they don't have that thing priced by itself. So, all right. Let me see. Let's see what people are saying here. Did they have a price? Oh, somebody found it. Yeah, see, people are saying...
My thing is, if it's $70 with the Yuffie expansion, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So what would that make the Yuffie expansion, what, $20? See what
Well,
I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
thinking.
Like,
That the expansion might be 20. I'm thinking it's going to be between 40 and 20. Maybe
so,
30.
I mean, if it's $70 with that expansion, that's not too bad. You know, it's $10 more. So
yeah, but $10 more on a game that's over a year old.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to feel
Final
about
Fantasy
that.
didn't just come out. Final Fantasy's been out for over a year. Like, and people are saying, like,
You know
hey,
what?
just buy it for cheap on sale and
Okay,
then
but
buy
this is
the
what-
Yuffie expansion.
But this is why I'm saying I don't know.
That's
how to
right,
feel about it,
Froggy.
right?
That's right.
I don't know how to feel about it because, once again, if we're talking about the worth of the game, Final Fantasy is worth it. They're up. Look at what they're doing. They're updating not just resolution, not just frame rate. They're redoing a lot of stuff, textures, and a lot of people will say, "Well, this should have been there before." But where's the same energy for something like Zelda Skyward Sword when all it is they're charging you $60 for the same game, and the only thing they're giving you is 1080p, 16 by 9. That's it. See what I'm saying?
I feel like people are going out of their way to give me to get that $70 price point.
Here's the thing. Does it need to be $70? No.
No.
I would say no. And would I rather spend $70 on Final Fantasy VII with the Yuffie expansion versus $59 on Skyward Sword? Yes, because you're getting something it's worth. So if I had never played, I never played Skyward Sword, right? Ever. The reason I didn't play because I was like, I'm not doing emotion controls. This is crap. But do I want to play it? Yes. But I was like, when it goes down in price, guess what never happened? It never went down in price. So with the PlayStation, we already know games go down in price. So we can either wait for these games to go down in price and then buy them later, or we can just buy them if we're fans of it. With Nintendo, their games never go down in price. So I guess my whole thing is like, for me as a fan of Final Fantasy, if I never played it, I would spend the $70 on it. If you already own the game, just buy the Yuffie expansion. I don't know. I don't.
Yo, Froggy T. White says you can't be compared to the dumb shit Nintendo does.
Hey,
look. I'm just Nintendo's on drugs, man. That's right, Froggy. Nintendo's on drugs. You can't compare Nintendo. I'm comparing the game as a whole, Nintendo's gonna put some cardboard, strap it on your ass, and charge you $100 for it. Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm about to say if I'm gonna compare this, I'm comparing it to games. So I'm like, man, I think $79 is not a bad deal.
Well, but the thing is, though, Frog, is that the Final Fantasy VII remake has been on sale. So, like, I advise anybody, the fans out there, I bet you now it's not going to go on sale, those sons of bitches, but that thing was like $20, like, in January and February. Like, Final Fantasy VII remake buy the PlayStation 4 version, upgrade, and then we got to see how much Yuffie costs. I bet you that Yuffie thing now, seeing that $70, that Yuffie thing is going to be around $40. I think it's going to be $40. It's going to be just like that expansion for friggin' Mortal Kombat, that Annihilation shit. I think that's exactly where it's going. It's going to be like a $40 thing, because to them, Final Fantasy VII remake is really worth like $20, like because it's been on sale for that low. So I'm thinking, and they know that people bought that game, right? They know a majority of the people are not going to spend $70 on it, because a lot of people bought Final Fantasy VII. That thing sold like gangbusters last year. So they know a lot of people have it already and going to buy the Yuffie expansion. Therefore, that Yuffie expansion is going to be on the higher end, $40. You heard it here first. I wouldn't be surprised. $20, I don't think so. But that Yuffie expansion will be on $40, and then on Black Friday, it'll be $20. There you go. There's my pricing right there. So, yeah, they're going to get you $40 because they know majority of the people already have it.
I mean, my personal opinion is, I guess, like, is it going to bother me if I'm paying $70 for this game? No.
Well, you're not paying $70 for it, and the people that pay $70, you got it already.
For new players, you know.
But you're right; it is a free upgrade, though. That's the one thing, Frog. I have to say. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's a free upgrade for the people who own it.
If people haven't played Final Fantasy VII, it's their first time buying it. It's worth the $69 with the Yuffie. It's worth it. It really is worth it. Now, on the flip side,
if you look at it as a PlayStation 5 game, see, they're trying to coach.
Yes, if you're looking at it as a PS5 game.
But that's what it is. If you look at the store, it says PS5, 6. I'm like, they're trying to mentally coach us that PlayStation 5.
Wait, is it in the store?
Yes. They're trying to mentally coach us to say PlayStation 5 games are going to be $70. They're finding all different ways to kind of say, well, it's an upgrade with DLC and all that other stuff. So, like, they're trying to here, I'll bring it over here. I don't know if you can.
Oh yeah, it won't let me do anything with it because it says I already own it. Okay.
Yeah. So see, here it is, everybody. Can you see it? Let me just make sure we can see it here.
Yeah. It says you're already on the following product.
Yeah, well, I'm not logged into me, but here you can see $70 for the remake Integrate. And then it says the digital deluxe edition is this, but look, they made Final Fantasy VII right now. The remake is $60. This was on sale. So this was like $20, I thought it was $20 like in February.
So I guess my whole thing is I just want to know how much Integrate is, because
that's what we all do, and they're not telling us because they want to push us. But you got to assume a lot of people have this game, and a lot of people are just gonna do the free upgrade, which I'm glad it's free. But I think that freeness.
Yeah, I'm glad it's free also.
But Frog, I do think that freeness is packed in to inflate that Integrate up that expansion. So that's why I'm thinking that Integrate expansion is gonna be like $40. Shit, as I keep talking about it, I'm thinking it might be $50. Oh shit.
Relax.
Oh shit.
You've been erased.
Yo, I think that Integrate. They're gonna finesse us, man. Jim ness us, Phil ness us. They're gonna finesse us any which way.
I own the digital deluxe version of Final Fantasy, so only thing I need to buy is Integrate.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, Frog, you're in the boat with a lot of other people, so that's why I'm thinking. Frog, I'm doing the New York under the table kind of thing right now. The hand motion under the table. Yo, that expansion, $50. There it is. 5 hours of gameplay.
That's a rough one, man. That's hard. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. That's kind of rough. That could be problematic for people. Ooh, that could be. Ooh.
Think about how many people bought that game and it's gonna be like, oh, I get free upgrades to Final Fantasy. Now again, but wait a second, I gotta take a page out of Phil Ness' book. Yes, it's about choice. You don't have to buy Interlude. You could buy it at a later time when it goes down.
Choice.
It's all about gamer choice and where you want to play and how you want to play. I put my Phil Spencer hat on. It's all about choice.
God.
So
I'm
not here forcing you to
you really
upgrade.
want it or not?
You don't have to buy it. You don't have to play on your 5-inch phone. But I'm still putting it on the 5-inch phone, so I will put my Phil Spencer hat on. It's about choice. So you are getting the free upgrade without purchasing anything. So that is, you're getting photo mode, you're getting all that kind of stuff. But you're right. Dylan says 2 players may be overpriced. I don't know. $50 might be high, but again, they're giving that free upgrade, and you got to think about how many people already have that game. Damn. Oh, Dylan says it's 30.
I don't know.
Dylan,
man.
where'd you get that from? Dylan.
That's what I want to know.
Dylan,
I gotta.
I'm making Dylan Dylan, you're getting becoming a mod. I want the link. I'm making Dylan Rafferty's a friggin' mod. I want the link. Dylan, where's the $30?
Well, here's the other thing, Jez. This is coming out in June.
Yes.
It depends on how dry those gaming streets are, man. In June, if it's dry, hey, people are gonna be like, "Hey, I'm buying this."
Dylan says it's 30. You heard it here, everybody. Wait, what's this? Phil Ness Fantasy. Oh, that is very funny.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with paying $69 for
stop whining, Addict.
if they're worth it. I don't.
Stop whining. Everybody's just upset because they think there's this Bethesda event coming in March that Phil's going to just say, guys, everything's exclusive for $7.5 billion. Good night. Yeah, good luck. If you people are hoping that on that green side, good goddamn luck.
You know what? If he does, then great.
He's not going to, man. He's been finessing us for almost a decade. There's no way Phil's going to come out there and be like, yeah, we just closed the deal, $7 billion. Guys, now you can go on Twitter and say all the Bethesda games belong to you because they're all going to be exclusive to Game Pass. The game they've been milking for 4 years. You know what? Enjoy the event. That what reminds me of people talking about this Bethesda signing deal with my... Oh, Dylan, I'm taking away your mod status. No, I'm messing. He says it was a guess. Dylan.
Oh, man.
No, but anyway, everybody's acting like this Bethesda Microsoft deal. Know what it reminds me of? Grindhouse, hit that like button. This is what I think reminds me. It reminds me of like those sign-ins at WWE where they get everybody at the table, a contract negotiation. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, Todd Howard, and he comes down to the ring, and they got the table there with the friggin' the contract open, and it's like, now I challenge you to a contract signing. Now he's like, Phil Spencer, and he comes out, money. Here goes Phil Spencer coming down the aisle, and there's the contract open with the pen, and him and Todd Howard like look at each other, and they go, Todd's like, you know what? I want to put Starfield on multiplats. I wanted to put them, and then Phil's like, oh, Game Pass, the flywheel, and they're looking at each other, and they're like, Triple H is down there, and he's like, guys, are you gonna sign the contract? Are you gonna make the deal? And then Phil's like, yeah, you know what? And Todd Howard's like, Phil, I'm your bitch. Yeah, you can sign it. And then basically, he comes and Phil's like, signs the contract, and then friggin' rock bottoms through the table, and he walks away. Money. Oh my God, did he just rock bottom Todd Howard through the table? Oh my God, Phil's not dissing around this time. He's like, your games belong to us.
Hilarious.
I can see the whole skit right now.
I mean,
the freaking contract
I
signing.
feel like at this point, I kind of feel like at this point with gaming, like I'm
it's wild, man.
Look, I'm content playing the games I love, no matter where they're at, right? But to a certain extent, I don't think, and this, I'm just going to say this, I think that, Microsoft is in the Xbox game to make money. So it doesn't matter if they put their games on PlayStation or not. They're in it to make money, just like any corporation. Sony's in to make money, Nintendo's in to make money, but I do think that they're going to different routes. So would it surprise me that Microsoft will put Bethesda games still on PlayStation? It wouldn't surprise me, and I don't think it would matter. The reason it wouldn't matter is because they're trying to make money. They can say, yeah, we own these companies, but we're still going to put it here because we want to make money. And if the game is good, why not make money?
Well, Glenn says that Nintendo with the prices, Nintendo wins the money in the bank every year. That's right. Nintendo does win the money in the bank.
Look, Nintendo's in to make money. Why do you think they come out with $59 games that were on the Wii? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey,
they're ridiculous.
This is a Wii or Wii U game, $59. This is a Wii or Wii U game, $59. We're like, wait a minute, you're still charging the same price or $10 more for a game that was on a Wii, you know? And I just think Nintendo's like, we know our worth. We don't care. We don't care. We'll give you a game and we'll say it's brand new, and we'll give you a new way to play it, and you'll be happy. You know, at least for the most part. So I can give Sony and Microsoft credit as far as their PlayStation, Xbox to be. At least some of their games that they have, they're exclusive. They'll try to remake from the ground up.
Yeah. So here, like somebody wrote here. So these are this is the thing. Like, you know, this is the thing when you get a console and stuff like that. Somebody just put this. I'm glad they just put it in a visual here. So launch games. You had Demon Souls, Miles, Astrobot, and Sackboy. February, you had Destruction All Stars. March, MLB 21. April, Returnal. June, Ratchet. August, Kenna. And then for Horizon, who knows when. And then they just said Halo on Xbox 2021, 2022. Like, and that's the thing. Like, Microsoft really needs to kind of do one of these things to kind of lay out a roadmap as to what's going on.
We just
you
know it's
know,
coming.
but again, I really think still like March and February is still going to be some remakes. Like February's done, but like March, it's going to be remakes. You know, it's still dry. You know, we got to see what Returnal.
Yes.
If Returnal doesn't hit and it's still like, you know, that great, then we're in the long haul right now. So,
I mean,
I'm just glad there's some new games coming.
When you look at what's coming out,
that's it.
I would say between
Microsoft's a big question mark. That's all I'm saying with them. But that's
between March, April, and you know, and what leads up to E3 May. They're mostly, you know, going to be some smaller to bigger titles, you know, because, you know, we got the show 21 is going to be on both consoles.
June's
I'm
looking
hoping it
good.
performs.
Well, June's
I'm
looking
hoping
good.
It performs
Final
well.
Fantasy.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. And then you got there's a lot of, but you also got to remember there's a lot of third party games that are coming, and you know they're going to be out. So.
Yay!
At this point, you know, I'm just hoping some of these third-party games can take up some place of some of these first-party games because, like, you know, Back 4 Blood, I'm interested in that, but I've heard some questionable things about it, but those are from people who have played it early.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's good. The same with Deathloop. I'm hoping Deathloop is a good game. I want Deathloop to be a good game. I also want Resident Evil. I want the Resident Evil game to be a good game. And I want people to, you know, but we know that Ratchet and Clank, I think Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart will sell, you know, maybe 5 million copies.
Rift Apart needs to,
it'll sell 5 million copies. I think Returnal will probably sell 3 million copies. And we're just talking about projections out there. I think Sony can sell between both those titles. I think they can pull 10 million. You know, but when you get something like that Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I think that game is going to move numbers. You know, just because it's a beloved franchise.
Yeah, I know.
You know? Even like Resident Evil Village.
EA is in the trash.
Resident Evil Village, I honestly think Resident Evil Village being this a multiplayer, I think that game is going to move 5 million copies.
Oh, yeah.
Know?
Well, I'm telling you, it's friggin',
million.
it's really rough. It's rough time. Whoa, wait a second. What's this? Oh.
Right now,
wait a second. Did they say pre-order? Hold on. Somebody's saying that Kenna. I don't know if this is real or not.
Let's see.
Wait, no. Somebody just said it says. I don't know where they got this from though. Is this from the? I'm trying to see.
When it's in the store, that's when I know it's real.
Yeah. Well, no. Here it is. Kenna Bridge of Spirits is available in both digital editions for $40 and deluxe edition for $50. It includes both the PlayStation 4 and 5 versions. You get an in-game silver staff, a digital soundtrack. $40 for Kenna. There we go. That's what it looks like.
$40 is a good price point.
Somebody just put it right here.
For that type of game, that seems like something you're like, yeah. That seems like a price point for that game. That it seems like the perfect price point.
That's good because that's the most impressive thing I saw. I thought it was pretty damn good. But you know, we got remakes, we got stuff going down. State of play. I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Hit that like button, and you know I'll be on Saltiest Podcast tonight. We'll probably be talking to the same thing. You know, I think it was all right. Yeah. It was all right. It was a 7 there, around there, maybe on the lower end of the 7s. Like, you know, I think it's I wanted more new stuff, but given
What?
everything that's going on,
That
but
Pierce lob.
but yeah, I would say it was definitely it was all right. Nothing to write home about, nothing to go celebratory about. Like I do like the upgrades that we're getting to Final Fantasy. The price is a little crazy, but again, we got to see how much that thing is by itself. It should be about $30. I would say $40 is kind of pushing it for that DLC. But nice getting its upgrades. And yeah, it was a good show. All right. They showed some things, got more in-depth stuff. The crazy thing is, and this is another thing, it's right. The thing is that they showed games. They showed new games, and they showed games that we saw already, but showed gameplay of them. The thing is we know kind of what they're sitting on. We just don't know when that stuff's coming out. The God of War, which they announced, Horizon Zero Dawn, which we haven't seen anymore. So, like, we know that these games are coming. These are not like, and we saw some gameplay, I guess you would say, to Horizon Zero Dawn. Nothing with God of War yet. But, they just also came off of releasing a launch lineup, too. So that's the other thing, too. Like, we're not sitting here going, you launched a console with nothing on the PlayStation 5. I finished Miles Morales. I'm finishing Demon's Souls. I beat Astrobot. I'm about to beat Sackboy. Like, 4 or 5 games within the launch, like, in the launch window, you can't deny that those existed. Now, this is all just, here we go. Now we're going to start seeing what's going. Whereas the other one, they're still waiting. So that's where the issue is. That's why there's sense of urgency on Team Green as opposed to Team Blue. But anyway, Frog, what did you think about that show? Again, final thoughts.
Final thought is like I said, a solid 6. It was above. It was it was a little bit below average as far as like what they showed, because they kind of showed some of this stuff already. They did show some new stuff that and
that fighting game was cool.
Showed us. So I would say it was a 6. Comparing it to just some of the previous shows I've seen, I guess for the beginning of the year, it was a solid 6. I feel like it can only go up from here.
Yeah, that's right. Only go up. A lot of remakes, a lot of not, and there's some finessing, but some of these updates to the PlayStation 5 with the using the, one thing too. Another point I'm thinking about it. They're using the in-game help. They're using the adaptive triggers. They're using the 3D audio. They're using the haptic feedback. So when people like nobody's going to use it, you're seeing more and more people upgrading. Because guess what? It's not just resolution and frame rates and graphics and textures. It's also the fact that, and this is one of the things that Sony did in the PlayStation 5, they added elements to the controller that make it next gen. You want to call them gimmicks, call them what you want. It adds things to immersion that they could add that into an upgrade, which gives the upgrade, again, more substantiality as opposed to just saying, hey, we just jacked up the resolution, call it a day. At least they have features that people could utilize in the PlayStation 5 that in addition to just the graphical enhancements. So that's another benefit to what they did with the PlayStation 5 controller. So that's another thing too, because I was seeing people use it and people are like, nobody's ever going to use it. But yeah, and I agree, Froggy. I think that they're you know what? They're holding out for later shows. But you want to know what? The one thing I am happy about, we got some release dates, because I was getting a little iffy about no release dates. Also, too, I'm glad that we know what they're holding on to. We know what they got. They kind of showed it, and both of them have it. Microsoft too. Like, we know what they got. But Microsoft, everybody has to kind of show it, and I'm sure they're saving this for a later time. But it is what it is, and it is good. But what do you say? Froggy says people upgrading on PS and Xbox as soon as the machine, and that's another thing. Froggy makes a good point. He's saying that the fact is that these systems are they're selling out instantly. It is kind of like it's going to be a slow burn. It's going to be a slow burn because of this, and unfortunately for early adopters, it's going to be a slow burn because, these consoles are still hard to find. They're not massively available. They're sitting on install bases that are pretty large. So you're getting these kind of crush gens, enhancing old games, and, maybe some new games sprinkled in there. So that's kind of what it's about. But anyway, I think it was a right show. I'm glad I streamed it. I'm glad I got the grinders together. Shout out to everybody. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Hopefully you liked the tutorial that I did last night on the Share Factory, which, I showed the power of that thing. That thing is friggin' awesome as software to use with a controller. And Yeah, anyway, tune in later on. I'm going to be on Saltiest Podcast later on tonight, and might be doing, some more Grinds My Gears on this channel, but stay locked to here. And, and I agree, Froggy. Yeah, it is definitely there. But thank you, Frog, for coming on. I'm going to go eat some dinner.
No problem.
Guys, hit that like button, and we are out of here. Thank you again, Grinders.